Well, sacrifice is in the books, and congratulations, one-man band. You finally got the Impact win.
Finally, after a year. Good God.
Whoa, guys, whoa, wait a minute. You've got one more person. The wheel.
Lou, you didn't win.
The wheel. The randomizer got a point.
Boo.
Come on.
Welcome to Tfspod, otherwise known as The View Show Podcast. This is 24/7 Lou, and that's
Rickard saying, I missed the dice.
And that's
the one-man band, no longer zero on Impact.
Yeah. Actually, this is your second point. This is your second
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying my first Impact, but my first Impact win.
Oh, yeah.
In over a year.
True. So, yes, folks.
Yes.
Welcome to Tfspod. You know, from the highest mountain to the lowest valleys and everywhere in between. We are the beast of the East, the best in the West. This is Tfspod.
I thought Brock Lesnar was gonna pop up.
Hold on. Actually, I want to correct the record here, woman band. This is it because this is actually interesting. This is your second point in a row, and both points for the year so far have been for Impact shows.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, how about that?
You got a point at No Surrender also.
That's right. Okay, yeah. So, but I mean, we haven't spoken since those wins. So that's why I said,
You're right. He's right.
But still, I'm still excited. Impact seems to be like.
I appreciate that.
Impact said, we're gonna give this guy the win, man. It's not fair anymore. We gotta give him we can't give him the Brian Myers treatment anymore. The Kurt Hawkins.
Imagine someone in a board meeting, like, you know what, like, let's give it to him.
Like, come on, man, we gotta give it to him. This man has been fighting hard.
Look at that! It's a history-making moment. A second point on Impact
in a row.
Yeah.
I hope you have plotted out all the Impact pay-per-view events, the one-man band, because
I'm gonna need it.
You're gonna need it. You're on a hot streak. It sounds like.
Well, considering how Impact is going, they seem to be having one every month. So at minimum, he might be getting 12 points.
Ooh.
Well, hey, the way things are going, I mean, the wrestling landscape is getting very, very interesting.
All right, so in this episode, we will be talking about Impact Wrestling's Sacrifice, which happened on Saturday. Well, on the what was it? What day was it again? Oh, on the 5th. On the 5th of March.
The 5th, yes.
5th of March. So but first, before we get to that, the one man band, give us that line that everybody loves.
Rickard, hit the scoreboard.
Alrighty, folks. So, with Sacrifice in the books, we've still got in the lead, Lou, you're at 5 points.
Yeah.
5 points.
Yeah.
5 points. 5 points. But now we have a distinguished second place who's broken away from the pack. And it is the one-man band with, as we mentioned before, 2 points.
All right.
Followed by myself, who is now in a hotly contested third, alongside J. Few and the randomizer, newly added to the randomizer.
Yeah.
We're all at 1 point each, and everyone else is at 0.
Including Bogey.
Including Bogey, you're right. How could I forget that amazing line?
Yes.
And that's the scoreboard. Back to you, Lou.
It's getting busy at that kiddie table down there.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, don't remind me. Don't worry, it won't last long. Although,
all right,
I keep saying that, and then nothing happens. So maybe I should
just. Good,
it's early in the year in the predictions battle. So yes, in this episode, we were going to be talking about Impact Wrestling's Sacrifice, which was I don't know, it was a horrible pay-per-view. I have to say, for me, it wasn't my best showing. But let's get to the matchups.
Yeah, it's funny. The moment you started talking about having a hot streak, Lou, it went away.
Yeah, we'll get to that other segment in a minute. That next segment in a minute. But let's talk about this one. We had Honor No More versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack for our. This was the pre-show, right?
Yeah.
Ricard?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. Yes, it was. And that was not a good sign for
all of us.
For the ROH folks. I was really thinking that would be on the main show.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Now that we have, because I know we had your picks, you submitted your picks last week, the one-man band.
Yeah.
How are you feeling going into this pay-per-view? Like Ricard was saying that it was going to be a big night for the, I don't know, more guys. And
yeah.
How did you feel about it?
I was thinking the ROH guys would win. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing that I had a feeling with the whole Ring of Honor ordeal that they were probably going to pull something on their favor. So that's kind of why I went the direction I went. You know, obviously now with what we know, things are going to probably change. Yeah. But
with we found out about the purchase.
Yeah, it was later in the week that we found out about that. But for the time being, I knew that they were really going they were going big with this whole ROH situation because I knew that they were gonna bring out the stops, especially with not only with Ring of Honor but also with New Japan with Jay White being there and something told me that that's what they were gonna do and they did. They ended up doing that. So yeah, that's why I kind of went in the direction I did. I honestly didn't think I was gonna win, but you know I was cool with it. So.
All right. So in that first match, Rich Swann and Willie Mack won that one, which was a surprise to us because we all went the other way. I don't know, more would win that. So we were wrong on that one. They got us on that one. Then the next match.
All right. So to clear the record here, the margin, there were 9 matches we did predictions for. Nobody got more than 5. And the win rate and the margin for victory between the people who got the win and not was a difference of 4 points to 3 points.
Wow.
So some of us purposely made predictions that shot ourselves in the foot. You, on the other hand, Lou, you just
blew off the whole leg.
Yeah.
So next match we had Trey Miguel defending his X Division Championship against Jake something. And who do we have win that one, Ricard?
Well, we had Trey Miguel retain his championship. I don't know why you went with Jake something. This was the pick that kind of
man.
This screwed you and really Jay Few out of a win. Technically.
Yeah,
although really every pick that didn't get you a point. but this one in particular was the one that kind of gave the other folks.
Yeah, because I was feeling that there was a push going on for Jake something with all his matches before leading up to this. And then Trey Miguel came out there and put on a show out there, and he won that match.
I wasn't feeling. I don't care what the booking is. I wasn't feeling it with that last name.
Jake something.
Yeah, who's the champion? Some guy, something.
Something.
What is this?
An Abbott and Costello bit.
Then we had the match of Eddie Edwards versus Rhino. How did you guys see that match?
Oh, well, I wasn't surprised by the outcome. I'm sure you were, because this also was the point of contention that screwed you out and knocked you out of the night early. Because by the time the main event came around, at least me and Jay Few were still in the running, and it was pretty much neck and neck. You were knocked out by that point.
Yeah, but I meant the match-wise. I mean, how'd you see the match? I mean, Eddie Edwards winning that one versus Rhino, and I guess a glorified lumber match, right?
A glorified lumberjack match.
Lumberjack match.
I'm wondering what a lumber match is now.
A lumberjack. So Eddie Edwards won, and that surprised me because in the pre-show we had Rich Swann and Willie Mack win. So now we had the other side, Honor No More group, win. The Ring of Honor guys win a match. So I was surprised in that one. But the next match. How do you guys feel about this one? The Inspiration versus the Influence. And our winner was?
The Influence. Absolutely disgraceful. This is unacceptable. You gotta be joking me. Okay? I don't know. I don't know how I should why they went this route. I get it. The inspiration, even when they were on the other brands, they weren't exactly the most dominant of heels, but I like their antics. But this feels like, I mean, they had a pretty a sizable number of months. Let's be honest here, but it still feels transitional to me. It still feels transitional to me because they didn't even defend it successfully at the last show. So it's not like they had title defenses. Remember, they couldn't appear at that show, and it was like, oh, they're ducking and running. I was like, come on, what are you doing?
I gotta be honest. I missed Impact Wrestling this week, so I don't know what happened on that show. If anything has changed. So I don't know if you guys are aware of that. Of anything that's changed with the tag team championship. But our influence. I'm sorry.
Well, if anything did change, that just makes even less sense to me. If they won it back, I'm like, what was the point of them losing it? You know.
All right, and then now let's go to the next matchup, which was Jonah versus PCO, and again, it's Impact versus Ring of Honor. And in this one, which was, I think, a surprise to some of you, I think, actually, both of you. Ricard and
it was also probably a surprise to the randomizer because they missed out on this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I was predicting. I mean, me and the one-man band went with ROH guys more times than not. Mm-hmm. So whenever it didn't pan out, it was kind of weird. But
because it was going back and forth.
Jonah got the win. There was a lot of, they played off the whole like, oh man, are his moves really doing any damage? Because it's just two hosses.
Yeah. Oh, and there was a one move there that everyone was concerned for PCO the way he
landed.
Yeah, the way he landed.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
So that was that one where Jonah won and still strong and.
That kind of put you back on the board, but you were still behind. So.
Oh yeah, by this point the score was 1. I had 1 point. You guys had 2 points. Jay Few had 2 points, and the Wheel had 1 point by this time in our prediction battle. So mind you, this is like going.
Yeah, no. There were a lot of unexpected moments.
All right.
A lot of consensus picks that didn't pan out.
Oh yeah. Hey, well, let's go to the next one. Here we go. That's going to be Alex. Who is it? Alex Shelley versus Jay White.
Alex Shelley, yeah.
Versus Jay White, and Jay White won this.
Speaking of a consensus pick, Jay White won.
Yeah. So how'd you guys feel about that match?
I had a feeling that Jay White was going to get the win. Remember, he's the visitor, but not only is he the visitor, he's one of the top visitors. Remember, he's one of the top guys in New Japan. So I figured he would get the win, especially, because he's part of a big storyline. So it wouldn't make any sense to have him lose. Nothing against Alex Shelley, but it's not really like it wouldn't have made sense.
All right. And
he was there to do the Chris Jericho treatment.
Yeah, pretty much.
Big name loses to big visiting name.
Yeah.
And leader of Bullet Club.
All right, so let's go to the next matchup, which is.
I do want to point out. I did like the last thing of that match, which was Alex Shelley went to offer the handshake, and Jay White was like, "Come on, no," because it was a mentor-student match. Most people forget this, and they were like, "Yeah, that's not the same person you trained." And I was like, "All right, that's interesting," especially because the very next night at the other show. They did another handshake and no handshake kind of spot, but they did a twist on it, which we'll probably talk about in the other segment.
Yeah. So let's go to this one. This is a championship match, which was the Knockout Championship. What is it called again in Impact? The Impact it's not called Women's. It's called the Knockout.
Yeah, Knockouts Championship.
Oh, okay. I thought it had another name to it. All right. So, we had Mickey James versus
Impact Knockouts World Champion.
Oh, okay. World Champion. There it is. I knew I was missing a word there. So, we had Mickey James versus Tasha Steele, and this one was a consensus pick.
Oh, wait. We gotta address something before that, because before we go into that, the match that we didn't do a prediction on did happen, which was the Champ Challenge. And Deonna Purrazzo, her challenge was answered by Chelsea Green. Now, why this is important in relation to the Mickey James match is, Lou, and you know we talked about this, Chelsea Green fought Deonna Purrazzo, and she lost, and then Deonna Purrazzo started like really doing damage to Chelsea Green's forearm, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
And she wouldn't let go of the hold. She started doing damage and all that. And then Mickey James came out, confronted Deonna Purrazzo, and then Mickey James got attacked after the fact by Tasha Steele, who was taking advantage of the fact that, she's worried about Chelsea Green, all that stuff. And they did a lot of antics during the Mickey James match with Tasha Steele. But essentially, the fact that I think they're going to try to immediately recover from this and just have Mickey James switch over to challenging Deonna Purrazzo for the championships.
Oh, okay.
Because that seemed to be the storyline going there. It's like, you attacked my friend, and my concern for my friend cost me the championship against Tasha Steele. So there's a lot of misdirection here, because we thought it was going to be. I remember when we did the predictions the week before, we were like, yeah, this is leading to a Chelsea Green versus Mickey James match somewhere down the line. Friend who doesn't feel like they're not getting a fair shake is going to turn on Mickey James for the title shot. But apparently not. Apparently not.
Yeah, and Tasha Steele finally got her chance, and she got a championship.
With help.
Yes.
Like major help. Seriously. That was basically a 2-on-1 match.
Yeah. But yeah, so we have a new champion in there. And then we had the next matchup, which was the Good Brothers versus Violent by Design. Another consensus pick.
Match?
Oh,
no, it was not a consensus pick.
Sorry.
This is what put the randomizer in the running. If they would have lost this match, they probably would have been out.
True.
But essentially, it was Violent by Design versus Good Brothers. Everyone else went Good Brothers. And then Violent by Design won.
Yeah, I was surprised by that one.
I was very much surprised by that. But I guess the Good Brothers have... I don't know. I guess they ran out of tag teams to fight. They were like, yeah, you've beaten everybody. Just drop the title.
Yeah. This was going back to a deal they had, I guess, about a year ago or so. Is how the story was going on this? How they had a deal before, and then I don't know if the deal was to get a chance.
So Violent by Design. So Violent by Design lost the titles in a multi-tag match, if I'm not mistaken, to the Good Brothers. And then since they were both heel teams, they didn't really fight each other. They were still dealing with Heath and Rhino and some other stuff. Violent by Design kicked Rhino out because of that, because Rhino took the pin. So they didn't really see it as Violent by Design losing the match. They saw it as Rhino lost the match. All that stuff was talked about. Essentially, it's just, we got rid of our weakest link. Now we're ready to fight you guys. Our deal's over. And this was essentially two heel tag teams fighting each other, for being honest.
Yeah, it was.
Pretty much.
It was.
But yeah, Violent by Design won. Again, a lot of outside stuff happening also, because they each had somebody on the outside. The Good Brothers had Chris Bay on the outside, and if I'm not mistaken, Violent by Design had Diener on the outside with the flag. So just a bunch of ridiculous stuff going on.
So yeah, and then by this point in our predictions battle, I had 2 points. Everyone else had 3 points.
Everyone else had 3, and it was one of the last match. I went with my heart. Not with my mind.
Now hold on. I don't have the notes here. How was the prediction done? Who had Moose and who had Heath?
All right, Lou. How do I say this the easy way? the people who got the win had Moose, and the people who didn't had Heath. So me and J Few had Heath.
Oh yeah, you and J
And
Few.
the randomizer and One Man Band had Moose.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. I know you went for your heart, but really?
No, I know. I went with my heart there, but I still think it'll happen. It's just, for the record, Heath had a good showing. I thought he had a good showing. The crowd was getting behind them. The more I watched it, though, the more I said, "Oh, this is one of those things where they're just trying to really make a star right now." I did feel like the match was mashed together way too quickly.
Glorified.
No, was not a glorified squash. Heath had that comeback going. Heath had that comeback going, but he did lose cleanly. There was no shenanigans.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, we talked about this for months. Like, we're still waiting on the redemption story of Josh Alexander. So
Yes, and that's what happens. We are getting it because Josh Alexander is back in the company and from kayfabe being let go or suspended. I never caught the difference of it.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have made sense. No offense to Heath, it wouldn't have made sense.
I had that in mind, but I also thought to myself, what about if Josh Alexander came out and cost Moose the title? That would have been, think about, am I the only one thinking to myself, like Eddie Guerrero winning it off Brock? It was because Goldberg was feuding with Lesnar.
Not only that, I think they probably knew that Brock was on the way out.
Yeah. No, I know, but still, my point still stands. It could have easily been Heath, but the build up was too quick. Maybe in the future we'll retread this ground. But I think what it really did was it established Heath as a singles competitor. He's finally stepped away from the Rhino Heath tag team. True. And maybe he'll stick with it.
Yeah. All right, and then that's where we had the one-man band and the randomizer get a point for the night.
Yeah.
Winning the 24/7 Tfspod championship.
For 24 hours.
Yeah, for 24 hours. But, whatever.
Unfortunately, the title was regained by someone who...
Whoa. Let's wait for that. So what do you guys think about Impact Wrestling Sacrifice? Was it a sacrifice?
Well, it was good because I got a point.
Well, let me look at the scoreboard real quick. Thank goodness I got a point and no surrender, because otherwise I would have had to sacrifice my dignity and put pants on.